What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classic Con blog. We're in a Trump pump. Oh no, I thought I was going to be able to show up. Boom. I love this little $100 gold plated thing. You can get these online for about $5. Listen, we're in a Trump pump, but also balance the books. What is balance the books about? I want you guys to understand. I've had some phone calls and people are like, oh my God, I'm in debt or something to that nature. I have all these bills. I want you to understand, you have to get you clear first. You know, Asia Denson says this thing called F them loans. And I used to laugh. People used to try to take the phrase from her. F them loans. I'm not saying be a bad person, be a bad American, not be a bad taxpayer. I'm saying you got to get your books straight first. Right? When I talk about America first, I'm talking about you first. Drop your city and state in the chat. Help me out. This is a lunch rush before I go to Hot Works, as you see the shirt. Go sweat in the sauna. But I want you to understand, I'm going to show a few different clips. And the problem is you want people to kiss your butt. You want them to tell you everything's going to be okay. And if you just, go to work and pay a little bit on your bills every month, everything will be cool. And the truth is, for some of y'all, it's a 2-year slugfest. And that is not the cool, popular to say, right? It just isn't. I get it. There are young men and young women who are watching online and it's like, oh, these boomers are living well and have houses and all that stuff. Yeah, some people had to choose at some point to have a sacrifice. I know it's Veterans Day and veterans chose a sacrifice, right? Every day, my mom's always like, quit putting me on this Facebook with every Veterans Day. And I want y'all to understand, sometimes I have to try to relate to people and be a regular person. And I want to show you an example of such. This is the first clip I want to bring up because this is just true. And again, friend of the show, Tim Jackson, always having to say it because it's true.
I think.
Hold on, here we go. Let's go.
I realize making content and observing others' content, I realize, especially when you're talking to Black people, if you're not coming from like a coddling, the way you saying it, we focus more on the way you say it more than what you saying.
Except in music. So we can say get high, get drunk, fuck bitches, kill niggas all day long, and everybody's like, yeah, we need to get him at the school to go talk to the kids. But then when you say, hey man, like you can actually afford to purchase your grandma's house. You can actually afford to buy that piece of property, that old trap house in your neighborhood, and you can start building wealth. Well, everyone doesn't have money, Tim.
You're talking down on us, Tim.
You're speaking down on us, Tim. Like, man, get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, man.
No, I realized.
Okay, so I already know YouTube's gonna not monetize this video because we have cussing in the first 5 minutes. And yes, that was brash for lunch. But I want you to understand that is so true. Every time I make a comment about YouTube algorithm and how it's holding back certain people, even now, years later, when I can bring up documents and statements and articles and show you what it literally tells you that's what's happening, people be like, well, Erica, it's your delivery. It's your delivery. You need to humble yourself and make people feel special and let them know that you care. If you know that they care, then they'll do it. And I come on this internet every day and Andrew Tate's like, F you, you're a piece of crap. What's up, right? Or there's like a million white people and Asian people with very harsh, abrasive conversation. And people are like, and so there is this mothering, nurturing that we're expecting from, I will say, the Black community and Black women, even more so. They show studies where women who are professors, if the woman is not very mothering, like she gets bad ratings. She don't let you make up work, bad ratings. Men, harsh men teachers, okay. They get okay ratings, regardless if they're good or nice or cuddling or not. And so there is a built-in mechanism in America where we're expecting women to coddle you. And then on top of that, especially in the Black community, extra coddling, 10x coddling. If you ask some of these women, why are these boys leaving the house and not know how to wash their clothes, don't know how to bounce a checkbook, don't know how to use a debit card, don't know how to pump the gas, don't know how to take out trash. Well, the world's so harsh to Black men. At least his mama love him. His mama's job before he leaves that house is that young man needs to be able to function in society, because I personally have seen too many people when I went to college, their mama dropped dead out of nowhere and they didn't know how to do nothing. And I'm talking about balance books, insurance, wash their own damn clothes, cook anything. And you're looking at this 20-year-old man like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry what happened to you, but your mom's gone. Like the world is about to be very ugly. And I remember two of the young men that happened to in college, they quickly got married. Quickly. Like it was almost like senior year. We're going to a wedding. We're like, no, that was fast. Because they did not have this world outside of this all I know. This is unfortunately all I know. And so we have this big coddling issue in our community. So I shared this picture, and this is how sad our society is. I joke and say I play a character online, and I've posted this many years now, right? different variations of our trips and our honeymoons together. And I personally put a sticker over his face. And I go because I say such wow, outrageous things online. And I've gone to so many conferences, and you guys have met my man and gone to conferences, gone to events, gone to masterminds. Y'all met him. Okay. But you see, it's 110 people. Like, oh my God, congrats. Why? Because if you're a woman and you're a focal point of all, they already know. Because they know this. It's an inside joke with among our friends. I'm like, I've been a private person. I just play a character online, right? And my friends laugh because they know him, and they text him and they message him. They're laughing. They're like, why are you posting this? And so it's like shock. Even Aaron Clary has been to dinners and luncheons in Las Vegas with my man. We've all YouTubers party time together. Okay. And so I laugh because what people are expecting is if you're a woman of a certain age, I should be seeing your kids. I should see your whole adult life. I should be able to look at your private information. And you better show me your man. You better show me your kids. If you don't show me them kids, I can't relate to you. I can't understand it. Do you know what I'm saying? There you go. Listen to the message, not the messenger. People too sensitive. Again, I used to even say when Glenn Cameron was talking, I was like, eat the meat, spit out the bones, until he started getting real creepy on the little kid shit. I was like, hey, wait a minute. I ain't back in that part. You know what I'm saying? But I used to tell people, eat the meat, spit out the bones. My grandparents used to say stuff in a harsh tone. I'd be like, they're being so harsh. And our aunts and uncles would be like, and? Do they have to butter it for you to go clean your room? For you to go out there and cut the grass? I know a 30-year-old male neighbor does not know. I believe it. And so what happens is people are assuming online, and this is unfortunately a lot of black men too getting these arguments like, yeah, look at these leftover women. They don't got no man. And I'm like, what are you talking about? You go in most neighborhoods, there is a man at that house. There's a man around those kids. What are you talking about? And so what happens is we think what we see online is the real world. And I'll tell you this, if you actually know me, this is me. I look good. I'm busty. I look good. If you see, you see people, you only got access to people's husbands and wives and kids when you were in their real life circle of friends. You only got access to someone's wife or their home, what their inside of their house looked like, what their garage looked like when you did life with them. And Diamond Dave did a great show earlier talking about communities. I think it was early. Yeah, it was earlier today when I was walking on a treadmill. And that's the problem. A lot of you don't have anything outside of this social media. And that's why I used to do Classy Climb events, because I wanted people to see each other in real everyday life. I wanted people to interact with each other in everyday life, because that is so important. Okay. This week coming up is it this week? Yeah, it's this week coming up is Afrotech. There is a lady on a plane that offered me an opportunity, a job. And I was laughing because it came because we were on a plane. The person in the middle seat threw up. I mean, me and this woman are like, this woman is sick on a plane. So we get this woman out of the seat. They're giving us all these wipes to help clean the area. Your girl freaking out because I really want to throw up at that point myself. I had to hold it because it was just so gross. And me and her start talking. She's going to Afrotech. She just came back from Colombia. And then she's getting ready to go to Mexico City. And she's hosting a private dinner. And she's like, do you know anybody that I should be meeting and networking when I get to Houston? I'm like, oh, I'm listing off people. She's listing off people. We're exchanging cards. We're talking. All this happened because we're on a plane with a sick girl in the middle seat. So when I tell y'all go out of your house and do life, sometimes life just be happening to you. But you also got to know how to have conversations and talk to people. And when you don't have people skills, you resort to these talking points. So I see these people online who are what I would call people's leftover uncles that nobody listens to at the cookout because they don't got no family, they ain't got no structure. They living in a basement apartment somewhere and nobody cares what they talking about because their life is not put together. All right. We're not talking about the successful aunt and uncle that travels and has a house and doing so. I'm talking about the unsuccessful ones that nowhere else would they have a room or foot to speak. They're online talking. This guy said something crazy and I said something back and I just stopped. I'm like, baby, what are you talking about? I'm not even on the marketplace for any judgment. And it's because they're expecting a woman of a certain age. You better be showing me countless photos of your family and your children. And you're not entitled to that. Even the people that make my wall, these are people who are seeing me multiple times in real everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Like I just happened to be at a conference and ran into him. Just happened to be at a conference years ago. And he's always on the channel. So, I want you to understand when people assume they have access to you, that's a dangerous thing because it's not real. It's not real. I was just at the basketball game the other day. And I want you to understand people assume you must be online all the time. No. A lot of this stuff is pre-scripted. It's pre-scheduled. A lot of these flyers and stuff on the community wall is pre-scheduled. A lot of these emails are pre-scheduled. And so I'd say all this because I want you to understand that in order, when I talk about the other day, someone said, Erica, send a message. That's a really high budget, right? It's a really high budget you posted. And I want to be very clear. My personal expenses are like nothing. I don't have no car payments. I don't have none of that other stuff. Like it's all very, very low. So when your personal bills was just your rent and food are low, you can be a more adventurous in your investments in your business and life. Like I'm not pumping it, but I put more money in Bitcoin this past week. I put more money in Tesla. I did all that. As soon as I started seeing Trump, I'm like, I knew it would go up, but I wasn't coming online because I wasn't an expert to be like, yeah, I'm dumping money in Bitcoin. I'm dumping money in Tesla. I'm dumping money in these altcoins. If you've been picking up the breadcrumbs we put out on this channel, you already know we've been studying and watching that. Who did we bring on the channel for November, Financial November? Diamond Dave. So you get an opportunity to make money. But that's the issue. Even look, Christian Emerson, met him in real life. We went to a real life birthday party of people online. We're meeting the dude who made Course Careers. We're meeting several people in the space at a birthday party. And that's the problem. A lot of people literally don't meet people in real everyday life. Let me show you this. And this is why I want y'all to understand, like, when I talk about balance the books, when I talk about get yourself together, always get yourself together first. Now I'm gonna show you this video of Obama. I know we mad with Obama right now, and that's okay. We can be mad with him for a little bit, and then we're gonna go, and I'm gonna explain why. Yeah, we predict. Listen, we gonna. I'm gonna leave that. Uh-oh. No, this one. Here we go. This one right here. And this is very true. When y'all get out, you're going to see.
With folks with fancy titles, and you talk to them, and you go, oh, they ain't all that. This idea that somehow they're so special, they're so smart, they're so sophisticated. Not really. They've been exposed. They've been given the confidence of feeling like they belong. But if you sit down and talk to them, turns out, that's my point. And the benefit for Michelle and me, because we came up, and at each stage, you go to Harvard, and wow, it's Harvard. And then you find out, oh, Harvard's full of some fools and people that you would not put in charge of anything, but they're there. And there's some really amazing, brilliant people too. And then you go to the US Senate and you look around and everybody's represented, smart people and dumb people, good people and bad people. Right. And then you now suddenly meeting at the group of 7 world leaders are all in a room, or the United Nations, and same thing. Turns out that there's some really smart, amazing world leaders, and there's some fools, running countries. And do not let people think you do not belong. Once you sit at these tables, these fancy places, with folks with fancy titles, and you talk to them, and you go, oh, they ain't all that. This idea that somehow they're so special, they're so smart, they're so sophisticated. Not really. They've been exposed. They've been given the confidence of feeling like they belong. But if you sit down and talk to them, turns out, that's my point.
I just want y'all to be very clear. And I'm going to say this, and I mean this in all respect. And I want to go on this rant, and I had to save it. I had to calm myself down. So many African-American people that I've met have been more talented, more educated, more talented, more, there's a million words I could use, but I'm going to be nice. And what happened is they just started earlier. They just started earlier, right? They're talking about the average person buying a home right now is 56 years old. It used to be 40 years old, and that's even late, right? It used to be 27. So when you see people leave college, whatever race, get married right after college, what most people do, and they get started in life, by the time they're 27 to 32, they've already got a house. They're on their second, third cars. They're going on these vacations. You're watching from the sidelines and thinking they're so much farther ahead, but they've been able to have a buffer to take advantage of what? Being married, right? Buying a home. Several of the people I know that the only reason they're doing well right now in Austin is they bought a home. I know 2 teachers who the wife got pregnant. They're living on his one teacher salary, but their house increased in value almost $300,000. So they took equity at house while she was still teaching, 8 months pregnant. The mortgage people should have known that. Didn't make no sense. And they took that money and invested that money in some real nice, healthy returns, right? Nothing exotic. Just make sure they didn't have any car payments. Make sure everything else is stable. And that would not happen if he was a teacher living, trying to take care of a wife with a baby in an apartment right now in Austin. They'd be hurting. You know what I'm saying? So it's simple stuff that people are doing earlier. Same with corporate. Some people just started earlier. They're further down the pipeline. They're not the smartest. They're not the brightest. That's why I encourage entrepreneurship so bad, because when you get out here in some of these places, I tell y'all, I go to these events. I'm excited. I'm about to meet this multimillionaire. I start talking. I'm like, oh my God, you're a mouth breather. You're a knuckle dragger. What happened? And they will literally just have the courage to say, oh, I had a credit card. I got a secretary to answer the phones, and I got a man who could fix stuff. And that's how I started my company. And I just had the courage to go. I'll meet a lot of people who say, oh, I'm in corporate and I'm saving all this money, and I'm saving, and maybe in 10 years I'll be able to finally do something. And you're like, by then you won't have the energy. This is why all these people, when they start talking about they don't want to switch careers in tech, they don't want to switch careers in corporate, they don't want to start over in jobs. That's where that's coming from. They're just tired. And if you watch some of Diamond Dave's other stuff this week, they don't know they need the blood work done, and they need some supplements and some vitamins. They don't know. They don't know. They don't care. Which one of the two. And so I just want y'all to understand, like, a lot of people are not better than you, not smarter than you, just a little bit further ahead from consistency. That's why I talked about in the previous videos about 2-year struggle or a 10-year struggle. It's the choice is yours. Now, something I want to say on that when I shared the Barack Obama post is a lot of y'all want to work low pay jobs. Let's go there. A lot of y'all want to claim it's for the flexibility. Oh, Erica, the interviews are easy. And really, I remember working in food service and working at Lowe's. We were literally begging people to show up to work. It was like herding cats. Like, oh, we just need you so bad. If you could just come in, we're shorthanded at the restaurant. We're shorthanded at Lowe's this weekend. If you could just come in and get a few more hours, if you could just come in and help us with the crowds on Saturday. We were begging people to literally do bare minimum. But when you would get these conversations with these men in the aisles, they'd be like, yeah, y'all need me here. They called me in for extra work. They were begging me to come. And I go, that's why some of y'all like low paying jobs, because it's this dire need for you to be there. Come on, we really need you. Even working labor job. Oh man, we got to do these roofs. We got to clean this house. We really need you on the job. They're begging you to come. The interview was easy. When you start moving up the ladder of corporate America, the interviews start getting harder. Multiple interviews, assessment tests. Because when you get to work, it's not my job to beg you to come to work and not call out late. It's not my job to beg you to, please, could you come in? I remember at Lowe's, we had a person that was late 34 days. 34 days. Like, I don't know if they were all in a row or not or what it was, but they were eventually, our manager was like, yo, this is getting crazy. Like, they're never going to be on time. We have to do something. And we would laugh and be like, our manager's never going to fire them. One day he just got mad and he fired him. And it was like, okay, whatever. That person didn't even care. And so I want you to understand, some people like those low paying jobs where they're understaffed at a hospital. They're, working at an old folks home because they want to feel needed. They want to feel valuable to the system. Okay. Because when you get in white collar jobs, there's deadlines, there's independent thinking, there's reports need to be done. You think if they come to Brandy's tax office and she said, I'm just tired and bored of doing taxes, that they don't expect their taxes to be done on time? You don't think Brandy's staff be like, oh man, we got to look at some more numbers today. Everybody got to go. Everybody got to do their job. And this is why smaller companies are always going to be better, because the goal of a lot of people is to come into a company and do bare minimum. People go into the federal government looking to stay in job for a long time. The reason Kendra Barnes, I love her story, is she moved up the ranks so fast. When she went to go ask for another promotion, they were like, what you doing? You're only 27. You need to sit in your job a couple more years, then you ask for a promotion. She's like, well, I'm ready now though. They're like, that's not how that works here. The average person that works in government seniority positions, they're in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they sitting there holding up that government job as long as possible. As long as they possibly can hold it up, they're going to hold it up. They ain't going nowhere. And the reason why is because it's almost like a guaranteed money. It's a guaranteed money maker. I just got to keep sitting here. I just got to hold up space. I just got to show up and do bare minimum. That's why people love getting government jobs. That's why it's so dangerous to have so many government jobs hiring. 2023, 50% of all jobs were healthcare or government. That's a bad sign. Why do you think Argentina has had their currency collapse 3 different times? Now they have a president and he's like, yo, we couldn't 80% of all the government. Listen, you don't believe me today, but America will get there. We will get to a point where we're going to come in and somebody's going to say, we cutting out the Department of Education. Like, they keep threatening it now. There's a great book called Broke by Glenn Beck, and people hate Glenn Beck. They'll let their hatred of Glenn Beck block their learning of something, even though the book has 400 footnotes in it. And it's like, they tested this multiple times under Obama. They were like, hey, the government's broke, so we're going to close the national parks. And people were in such an uproar, like, hey, the national parks don't cost that much. Why are y'all closing the national parks? It was a test. It was a test to be like, hey, at some point, the government will not be able to afford pensions, instead of saying pension, I should say Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, Department of Education. We're going to cut something. It's better for us to pick a thing than to be forced to cut all the things. And I do believe it's Department of Education. Why do I believe it's Department of Education? Prime example, North Carolina, 1 in 3 children are homeschooled, 1 in 3 are in a private school, and 1 in 3 are in the public schools. I truly believe we will get to a place where that is the case for multiple states. I truly believe you're going to start seeing from Alabama, not Alabama. Let's not use Alabama. Let's use Georgia, Florida, Texas. You're going to start seeing these high numbers of Montessori schools even over here in this area where I'm at in Austin. I drove around the corner and I drove a different route that I usually don't go because I was trying to go to somebody's house. And I was like, what is this shit? Like, there was like 4 brand new Montessori schools, not even 3 miles from each other. So parents are already opting out. And some of these tech parents that work from home, they don't want their kid in school with you. They're going to do a half and half. Under 8 years old, they're going to have the child Montessori school. Then when they get about middle school age, you're going to put them in a private school. Those kids will not be with you. They will not be around your kid because they already know you don't have any expectations for your child. You don't have any standards. You don't have no structure. You let them be on the cell phone all day. Your kid don't have social skills. The best thing some of these kids can do is be in sports. So they learn what it's like to lose, what it's like to communicate with others. I'm going to just tell y'all, when y'all call me and say, oh my God, Erica, I'm in debt, I should pay back all this stuff. That's for the credit system. You got to get back to a cash system. If you need to balance your books, you need to pay what's most important to you. That's your food, your lights, and your energy bills, and your rent, of course, or your mortgage. Don't get yourself stable first. That may take 2 years. That may take 3 years. You may have people upset with you, don't like you, mad with you because your books are not straight. But honey, that's what you have to do. Because it's about to get wild up in here. Y'all this is a 4-year break. Trump being in, this is just a 4-year break. And it's really just a 2-year break. Because after the second year, he's a lame duck. I'm trying to get y'all to understand all the stuff we've been saying. You're like, oh, Erica, y'all been dooming and glooming forever. What's up? You know, people still buying houses. People still building houses. I promise you. Look at all the inspectors pages on Instagram. They make so much money just running around inspecting houses so that they can prove to the insurance company what needs to be fixed. I just want y'all to understand is and the people that are just like, well, I just, you know, women's rights and we need daycare. Every day I see women putting little tiny babies in daycare. I understand people got to do what they got to do. But that is not ideal. And I know you're like, whoa, Erica, whoa, don't tell me what to do with my kid, Erica. I got to go to work. I hear you. It's just not ideal. You didn't have babies, so you didn't see them every day. Nobody does. Nobody ideally starts out having children so they can't see them every day. No woman gets pregnant so she's sitting at work at 9 months pregnant, working at Texas Roadhouse. Nobody has that plan. Right? So why not take this time to study and research what are ways to make higher money, make your assets work for you? This is the time. There's not going to be another time. This is your best time. When I talk about Middleman and Millions group, and I'm like, this is the best time for you to figure out how to white label something. White label a credit repair company. White label a cleaning company. Go on buybizbuysell.com, buy somebody else's company, just clean it up. This is the best time. If not now, when? But at the end of the day, there's no millionaire that has bad credit per se. Because once you get flushed with money, then you're in a different conversation. But if someone tells me, hey, Eric, I got $5K and I've got $15K in debt, I'm like, take that $5K and either, now I ain't tell this person that, but I'm just saying hypothetically, I'm not giving financial advice. Hypothetically, I'd rather you put that $5K in Bitcoin right now. I'd rather put that $5K in Tesla and pull it out in a few weeks, you know, when it's more money. I then turn around and give some credit cards that's going to write this stuff off $5K. But it's going to be on my credit, Erica. It will be. And you can dispute all that stuff and fight all that stuff a million different ways. I already told y'all there's levels to credit. Level 1 is if you're trying to get a car or a house. There's a million programs to work with you, whether your credit's bad or not. Number 2 level, when you start getting credit cards, you start wanting to travel more. You want to work off points. You want to move around. You can spend the money to kind of pay it back. Level 3 is when you're talking about people starting to build businesses. Level 4 is I'm talking about apartment buildings, apartment complexes, all that stuff. I mean, creative financing is real because of various reasons. Seller financing is going to be big over the next 10 years for multiple reasons. Right? A lot of these assets will not refinance well on a bank book. The only way you're going to be able to sell some of these offices, some of these apartments is seller financing. Some way you're going to sell some of these houses and farmland is seller financing. But when people say the inflation is going to be worse, it will be. What do you have to fight against it? Well, I put my money in the stock market. Just sitting your money in the stock market and let it roll is going to keep up with inflation. But your goal is to beat inflation. That's going to be real estate. Hands down. That's going to be land, farm, timber, trees, things you can sell. Right now, watch these people with these food trucks. There's a corner. This man had this lot. Nobody wanted to buy this lot of him. They didn't want to put no commercial building over there. It's in the hood. That area of Dessau still ain't nice yet. They ain't nobody buying that from him for a high price. Guess what he did? He converted it to a food park. He done put 20 food trucks out there. Now imagine those 20 food trucks. I'm pretty sure they're all paying him like, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna say 500, but really 1,000 because the setup, the electricity, all that stuff he had to get set up over there. So let's say they all paying him 1,000. He's making $20,000 off this lot that nobody wanted to buy in the edge of the hood, and it's full of all the most diverse foods ever because it's off of Dessau, which is a heavy Latino, heavy Asian area here in Austin. And so I just don't think y'all understand, like, having the land, having the opportunity to do something with it will be the biggest play. Having Shopify stores and having multiple products, even if the product only makes $1,000 to $3,000 a month, you got 10 stores. You're talking about a different type of living. And y'all have seen this. People that make $10K a month, when you start talking about some stuff, they're like, that don't matter to me, Erica. it's a different level out here, right? When I just posted about Salesforce, and me and Dr. Dix will talk about it tomorrow on automation series. We have a very important series coming up. All the people that are like, well, I'm just not going to do tech because they're not hiring like they used to. They already back in the swing of things. This is why when they try to convince you that who the president is don't matter, that's silly. Who believes that? Let me check out some of y'all stuff in here real quick, and I'm going to show you another post. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm in healthcare. IT is easy to get complacent, especially on night shift. You already know. They in there chilling, bundled up, it's cold. Oh, yeah, I had a fabulous meeting, Erica Time, face. I believe me, the same way she acts online is the same way she acts in person, for sure. That's why when people say that, I'd be like, I know people be a character in front of y'all. As someone who works in the school system, I can tell you these children are mess. I'm telling you, when my nephew came back from COVID and was reading to the class, him and another girl, they were the only 2 children in the whole class of 20 kids who could read and write their name and finish reports. My nephew be bored. Absolutely bored. When my daughter was homeschooling during COVID, she jumped ahead and was doing college classes into high school. Number one way right now you want to get ahead is if your kid's in high school in North Carolina and several states, and they want to take college courses, they can take them for daggone free if they're in junior and senior year of school. They'll skip those last 2 years, those 2 entry years of college that people are wasting their time doing. In an article, Washington Post last week, the research they did, the level of government employees have not changed in decades due to attrition. Yeah. And then on top of that, government employees right now trying to figure out if Trump gonna come get them. I believe the issue in our community is that many of our people are too fearful to challenge themselves academically and make that leap into corporate America to thrive. The truth is a lot of our people aren't any smart. They aren't. And that's really the truth. Is a lot of people, they want an easy interview, an easy job slide in. They don't ask me too many questions. I remember this girl had got a job at Facebook in California, and they had gave her like 100,000 and like, it's an OTE and some options and stocks, right? Because they were poaching her from another company, and she didn't even understand it, and she signed for it, but she went and found a lawyer to break it down to her because she couldn't even understand her contract. Now she's smart girl, but we have people who are very specialized in one area, so she couldn't even read the offer, like, and understand, like, are they paying me what they say they're going to pay me? He's like, oh baby, they just blessed you in a bunch of stock options. Like, this is really cool. And it was interesting to listen to her talk because she's super smart. But yes, met her after tech. She was from North Carolina, and she was saying even when she tell her family and friends about tech, it's like this foreign thing. Like, okay, that's nice. I just want to work a little bit and get off on Friday and party and drink. And that's over, baby. That's over for a lot of people. A lot of unless you own the actual company. Let me go over here. So again, I don't think y'all understand how far ahead technology is. We have this system where we hold back a lot of technology in America and other places. If you ever study up, and I'm not trying to be a conspiracy, but I know y'all call me that. If you study up about Chicago's massive fire that burned all these libraries and all this stuff in the future, you can go down a whole deep rabbit hole that there was a lot of technology that was lost to us via this supposed Chicago fire, and that the Moors were walking around Chicago in tons of paintings, like regular, thriving, not in this kind of slave master shackled me up, help me Lord. And people aren't ready for that conversation though. There are lots of parts of America where Black people are owning stores, being normal and freed people, but that's a whole nother conversation. So let me go into this part. Let me show you this.
To read your mind, or they didn't apply, they filed a patent. So what it is AirPods, they're fitting them with like electromagnetic sensors. And do you guys remember when we talked about they could hook a like brain machine up to a person and they could look at something and they could use AI to generate the picture?
Yeah.
So that technology, rather than a full helmet, they have successfully mapped via sensors in AirPods. They've successfully done the same thing. what they said.
Wow.
I was reading in neuroscience.com or something like that. I was reading an article and it said what they're able to do is read that sensor, and they said everybody's electromagnetic pulses are different. And so it's not just an immediate read what you're thinking and then regurgitate it. It's a process of learning. And so they mine and log all of the thoughts, all of the pulses. And so
Are these in the current headphones?
They may be testing stuff. Who knows?
but they said the article I found said they did it successfully 5 years ago.
Oh, weird.
Did you know Apple just applied for a patent so that they can retrofit AirPods to read your mind? Or they didn't apply, they filed a patent. So what it is AirPods, they're fitting them with like electromagnetic sensors. And do you guys remember when we talked about they could hook a like brain machine up to a person and they could look at something and they could use AI to generate the picture?
Yeah.
So that technology, rather than a full helmet, they have successfully mapped via sensors in AirPods. They've successfully done the same thing. What they said,
Wow.
I was reading in neuroscience.com or something like that. I was reading an article and it said what they're able to do is read that sensor, and they said everybody's electromagnetic pulses are different. And so it's not just an immediate read what you're thinking and then regurgitate it. It's a process of learning. And so they mine and log all of the thoughts, all of the pulses. And so
Are these in the current headphones?
They may be testing stuff. Who knows?
but they said the article I found said they did it successfully 5
Okay. Why did I bring that up? Okay. Thanks to your live, I'll be joining Lifting the Veil. Congratulations. So I want you to understand that a lot of technology is already out there. They're getting a patent. It's already been created. It's already been done. They've already tested it. It's already been happening. Anytime Apple or these companies come out with something new, they're already testing it on you. One of the software companies that I was trying to work with, the software is basically like the term, it's like Skynet. It goes into your computer, it checks all your software, it's looking for threats night and day. It's like, what's going on here at this company computer? I'm just giving you the most boiled down version possible in history, like a 3-year-old. It's going in your computer night and day, looking for odd things that are happening, odd searches. If your staff is looking at things they shouldn't be looking at, it's looking at if something is wrong. It's looking at all this stuff. It's creating a map of what your business. If you have Brandy's business and you buy this software, if anybody on Brandy's staff is looking at anything that's not IRS related, compliance related, if they start drifting off to Facebook, if they start doing stuff, the software will, 1, tell Brandy, 2, block their interest from there. It'll start saying, this website is not allowed at work. This website is blocked. This website is not allowed at work. It is a threat. It is a danger to your because the truth of it is your workers are at work going on all these different websites, and it is a threat to the main computers because you're doing what? You're looking at other stuff, right? You're at work buying stuff from Temu. Okay, stop. Right. And so what happens is there's this, tip of the iceberg that we're not paying attention to. And so there's a lot of technology and software that we're not even up to date yet. And the reason I'm talking about it this way is like, if you don't have the basics down right now, if you don't just have the basics down right now, right, where you can understand when I bring on Diamond Dave and talk about options and talk about stocks, if you don't have the basics down where you got a bank account and you know how to open up a checking account and buy a house or just the basics, it's going to be hard the next couple of years as we zoom through technology, right? It's going to be hard. That Temu, right? Like, no, your companies are going to start blocking this software because Temu is data hunting. You know what I mean? And so my whole point of all this, I'm trying to get y'all to understand is like, as technology advances and as you have stuff like the Trump pump, people are confused. Like, well, how do I make money off the Trump pump, Erica? Check us out Thursday. We'll have Diamond Dave back on the show Thursday. Bring your questions. Also, email your questions to admin@classicclimbtx.com. I try my hardest to make it available so you guys can ask questions if you're not clear. I swear my phone does the same thing every time I get in my car. Yeah, It starts automatically telling you, are you trying to go to Starbucks? Are you trying to go over here? Are you looking for restaurants that are open now? It's already been learning and reading what you're going to do. And it's going to feed you more of that. That's why when people come online, they go, all women are doing this or all men are doing that. And it's like, no, you're just in an algorithm. It's just feeding you more what you like. That's why when people were like, Erica, Trump isn't going to win, I go, you're getting fed voices from mainstream media and the internet. You're not getting fed, you have already decided that Joe Rogan and them is some kind of weird part of the internet and all this stuff. Like, it's the economy, stupid. It's the economy, stupid. Keep it simple. There's a thing called KISS. Keep it simple. Stupid. But anyway, I want you to understand, what are people's prime objective? They want to make money. They want to make money easily. And what's going to happen? Every day. Chime Bank, all these little cash checking places. I told y'all the story of the day that the real estate guru, they had a woman, they had a wholesale deal. They bought the wholesale deal from her, a rundown house. They could cut her $50,000 check. The title company ain't gonna cut you. They're gonna direct deposit to your bank. It bounces back. It bounces back. They cut her a personal check. They say, you have to come and pick this check up. And she goes, they go, what happened? My bank closed. What's your other bank? She had to pick the personal check up. And he had to beg her, please do not go to a check cashing place. They're going to take 10% of this check. They're going to take $5,000 of your money because you don't have a bank account. Any bank that you go walk into today will gladly take this $50,000 check from the title company and open you an account. They had to beg her. They had to beg her, plead with her, help her do it. And that's why I'm saying, just because you leave somebody a house doesn't mean they're the smartest. Just because somebody inherits a business doesn't mean they're child smart. Right? The memes you're seeing out here, if you're not even paying attention, if you're not paying attention to the data, just basic information, you won't understand what these memes mean. Diamond Dave was saying something about people not being on Twitter. Last time Trump was on Twitter, the stock market was crazy because Donald Trump was out there just sporadically crazy on it. Right? So even here, just the jokes of the flip flops, the brain boosting, Bitcoin is the future board. You know what I mean? Like the Lambo courses, right? The course price of the Lambo in the picture, Adderall, certain type of vodka, just the way they dress is so ridiculous. I knew Bitcoin is making a comeback, all these quotes. If you haven't been in these spaces to hear these conversations, this is exactly how they sound like, right? If done correctly, and again, I don't want to speak outside my expertise. If done correctly, someone with 5 to 20 grand right now and I'm being very lighthearted here. Don't take this for financial advice. Anybody with 5 to 20K that's in Bitcoin or in Tesla or in some of these stocks that are going to pump the next, couple of weeks or until January, really, because I think they're going to pull the rug and say, yeah, we're in a super recession. Just be careful. Watch it. You're going to make some big money. And you're going to see a slew of influencers talk about pumping up this stuff to make money. That's what you're going to see. Right? There's a video I want to do, but I'm going to put it on the other channel, the stock channel that I let die. I didn't do anything with it. But I'm just going to do a review of my account so that they don't think I'm over here pumping anything. Just like, this is what I did. This is what I did my money. This was the result. 30 days later. That's it. I'm going to keep it real simple because I think it's important. People are like, oh, put your money where your mouth is. And it's like, people like me are. People like me are. And, again, how are you going to listen? There are people right now still crying about Trump at work while this is going on, while money is being made, while we've been telling you this is the biggest wealth transfer in American history. Right? It's just super crazy. You know what I mean? So, again, so many people keep saying, oh, it's going to be so bad. It's going to be so dark. Trump's in here. What are you doing while Trump is here to get your money up? Right? I love this. This is talking about, there's a company that basically you pay a person to stand in line. And you also pay for the Lightning Lane Premier Pass. Same thing at the Val resorts, ski resorts. You can pay people that lets you skip lines. People are willing to pay. Again, look at this. Subscribe for free. 200,000 financial professionals. Trust me, they're doing lots of marketing in there. You're not getting nothing for just free. Nothing's free, baby. My job will not open Fashion Nova site. Listen, you shouldn't be buying nothing with your work computer. But again, how many people every year buy stuff from their work computer? How many people get stuff tore up at work? Right? Oh, I see somebody for a minute. Yeah. So again, HEB, one of the latest news, HEB gives $100,000 to Austin Community College for free tuition, student basic needs. HEB being amazing again. HEB being amazing again. So that's what I have for y'all. I mean, I don't want to drag this out too long, but essentially, how are you winning from this? How are you getting yourself balanced? Because what's going to happen is people are going to keep saying, oh, ever since 2020, I've been struggling, Erica. Oh, I've been down bad. And you're like, okay, what else happened? Oh, there's people right now telling me their parents didn't recover from 2008. Think about it. There are people telling you their parents didn't recover from 2008. How long ago was that? Oh my God, yes. Connect their phone. People have been so ingrained, Brandy. Think about it. Remember when you had to wait till 9 o'clock at night to use the phone to make phone calls? I don't know how old y'all are, but I'm sure how old I am. I was at college and I was like, I got this little Nokia phone. Oh my God. I just got to wait till 9 o'clock and my calls are free. So that's how I feel people are with the internet. They come to work and they come to work and they connect their phone to the internet because they don't want to use their data, right? Same thing when they go home. They connect their phone to the home data. Or when people will come to your house, what's your Wi-Fi password? What you need my internet for? You got a whole phone. What's your Wi-Fi password? What's your Wi-Fi password, Eric? I'll be like, you at my house. We supposed to be eating dinner. What you need to be on your phone for? You know what I'm saying, y'all? Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Okay. There was a French trader. He won $48 million after betting $28 million on Trump's victory on Polymarket. Come on, man. Come on. I don't think y'all don't realize how serious it was. I love this. This is very funny. This is this is how it was this past week at my family's place. Finance bro pretending he's in pump Trump won. The jackets, the button-ups. We have to keep on living our lives. We still have our health. We'll see what happens. I'm literally buying Wharton University of Pennsylvania shirts and hats, y'all, just to be an a-hole right now. I'm bought too. I'm gonna start wearing them in my YouTube videos and be like, I'm a Wharton. Just because I see what YouTube does, right? But that's cool. That's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and there's a couple tricks and trades I'm gonna do with YouTube over the next couple months. But if you're in the Digital Liberty Warriors group, we are going over, just giving y'all a heads up, we're going over SEO, Facebook ads, Instagram ads over the next couple weeks. We're also talking about outsourced email marketing and like why we need to learn it. Because a lot of y'all are like, Erica, that's a lot. I don't have the time. I don't have time for Google ads. If you really add it up, I mean, I really mean this. If you add it up, you're paying SEO services $750 to $2,000 a month. You're paying for somebody else to do your Instagram ads. You're talking about $1,000 to $3,000 a month. You're paying for somebody to do your email marketing. It's $500 to $1,000 a month. You pay for somebody to do your YouTube ads. It's $1,000 to $3,000 a month. Website tracking optimization, $1,000 to $2,000 a month. You're talking about people doing your Google ads, shopping ads, $2,000 to $5,000 a month. That's $5,000 to $10,000 per month that you're spending just on that. And that's why a lot of you are scared to start a business, because you're like, Eric, I don't have $10,000 to toss into a black pit for months on end, because that'll come out to $60,000 to $120,000 a year. And you do that for 10 years, that's $600,000 to $1.2 million. Know some basics. All right. Know some basics, and we'll go over some basics inside those two Facebook groups, Middleman to Millions, and also Digital Liberty Warriors, because when I talk about buying leads to kind of get yourself some traction in the roofing and in the commercial cleaning, it helps, but you also can figure out some of the things to do yourself. Uh, as simple as posting pictures of your work, right? There's a lot of simple stuff you can do to get yourself rolling. But let me read some of these comments again out here. I love HEB. Oh, for sure. I don't buy things on my work computer, but I do browse. Stop it. Get out of there. I need more shares of HEB before I quit. Get all the shares. Get all the shares. HEB is, nobody can beat them right now. I remember free calls after 9 and on the weekend. Yeah. Text messages were 10 cents. Y'all remember that? Class of 2005. I'll call you after 9. Like, I'll call you back later. I remember calling people back after 9. They'd be like, it's so late. Listen, there you go. That's exactly how they dress where you live. Exactly. So, I just want y'all to understand, how can you get into the Trump pump? How can you put yourself in a better financial position? How can you grow? You're welcome to join us in any of our courses. You're welcome to join us over at School Group. Also, I've heard your request, multiple requests. We will be moving Wealth Wednesday over to school. We have to just get rid of, we're going to basically close the Facebook group, and we're going to go ahead and cancel all the subscriptions on Stripe. So to switch all over. So when that is, we'll have lots of emails, lots of marketing. So you know when you can switch and how to switch, so you don't get lost in the sauce. You don't get left behind. I don't want to hear any like, oh my God, I didn't know. I didn't see it. Where was the email? We're going to spare you from all that, right? We want to save everybody that drama. And let me see if I have that. Boom, 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 boom. Also, don't forget to join us tomorrow. Diamond Dave, not Diamond Dave, Dr. Patrick Dix will be on the show. We'll be talking about automation and a lot of labor strikes. You're going to see a ton of labor strikes in the future. I just want y'all to be able to, how do you switch? Switch middleman to millions? You mean from the Facebook or the school group? You just log into the school group. Rephrase that question for me. We're going to have Dr. Patrick Dix on, and we're going to talk about, you're going to start to see, and this isn't a scare technique, but you're going to see like a ton of labor people strike. And it's going to make you nervous as you try to go into Christmas and as you try to go into January. And we don't want you to be scared. We want you to be prepared. And so we'll have a series the next 4 Tuesdays, I think, or spread out a little bit with Dr. Dix on automation, labor strikes, why this election had a lot of consequences for labor, because really nobody was speaking to labor. No matter what anybody on the internet's telling you, nobody cared about, even now, we talk about the longshoremen striking. We talk about people at Amazon and Boeing striking still. There's a lot of strikes going on, you guys. And so you need to be able to kind of aware of this information so that you can kind of get ahead, so you can prepare yourself. Don't get overwhelmed, but definitely don't miss out on the Trump pump, and don't miss out on these next 2 years of a lot of massive wealth getting created. And it's so hard for me to explain to y'all in the simple hour videos, but there's a ton of wealth going to be created. It's already being created. It's already, like, a lot of these guys are going to be slid kind of out of their positions and liquidating. So Journey to Jasmine. Okay, got you. Okay, I understand now. I'm going to read this out and explain it again. Are the classes that are purchased on the old website, like Middleman to Millions, switching to school? So Middleman to Millions, if you have the course, that's your course forever. You'll never lose that course. You'll always have access to it. What's on School Group is different. It's literally you still have access to the course. You never change. But Middleman to Millions on School is essentially, we're just adding more into it. We have a classroom place where we're just doing all the current techniques. We're showing all the different things, the way we're marketing things, SEO, all the different techniques. All that is what we're doing right now. What I'm doing, I'm showing you what I'm doing. I'm showing you how we're running ads. I'm showing you how we run SEO, showing you how we're getting contractors. It's just like a 10x, if not 100x of like a community plus what we're doing. So everybody in those groups can actually either help each other, grow each other's businesses, in whatever capacity you say. Even with Digital Liberty Warriors, my whole point with that group is help each other be each other's affiliates, help promote each other's affiliate links, help look at someone's site and say, man, I think you're missing this. It's for you guys to interact with each other. And I think for both those groups, we have Saturday live trainings this Saturday coming up. Yes, I think this Saturday coming up, we have a live training. And we got off track because I got stuck in New York and then I couldn't get home and then whatever. So last week we didn't get a Wednesday training, but we will have our Saturday training. So it's coming up. I want you guys to interact with each other. Again, the cookbook theories, the 100 products video that we did, any of those things could be making you money as you speak right now. As you speak right now. Just got to put it together and promote it. Ask other people to promote it. Run a few dollars here and there on ads on it. Right? There's some stuff I have on YouTube coming up that we're running $1 a day. Some we're going to run $20 a day. You have to be prepared. And that's kind of the point of this whole thing is I don't want people to say, well, Erica, I've always worked in food service or I always worked in these lower skilled jobs. So I haven't been able to get in corporate America or make big money. And you don't need that. You don't need corporate America to stop you or lack of access to corporate America for you not to make this big money. You can make big money without corporate America. You can always make big money without corporate America because corporate America is like America. It's a big, slow turning ship. It turns very slowly. And the reason why people can be so successful is because you don't have to turn so slowly. You can turn on a dime. You can turn quickly. Right? That's where the power is. Right? When all this stuff is going down, you're already investing. You're already switching. When you feel like it's about to turn in Tesla, you can get on out of there. That's the opportunity. So this is your girl, Erica, Classic Line Blog. Balance your books. Focus on your debt. Once you get yourself together, then focus on your debt. Make your money. Cover your personal bills that you need to survive. Make it as low as you need to be. And then you can launch from there. People get paid back after you get straight. Like not the other way around. I see too many people going into an old method where they got all this debt. They done had a big old wedding and went to college, had all this debt, got brand new cars and trucks, and they're in debt into their eyeballs. And they are not willing to let any of it go, change any of their techniques to make it. So they'll be stuck doing that for the next 10 years, trying to get all that debt paid down, trying to do old school Dave Ramsey style when they could have bought a duplex starting out. They could have bought a multifamily property starting out. They could have went and invested in a few different other things. But I could go on a tangent about that. So listen, thank you guys for being here. There's 262 people here. Drop a like button or drop a comment after this video renders. Show me you care. Show me you enjoy the content. This is your girl, Erica, Classic Line Blog. We're out. You've probably been seeing these commercials for Middleman to Millions course. What is Middleman to Millions? We're teaching so many people how to have service businesses. The upcoming year, one of the fastest growing businesses you will see are service businesses and digital businesses. Why is that? Because so many things need repairs, need maintenance. And guess what? We have a shortage of men and also women who could do things. Listen, I'm not the best with a hammer, but I know I can gather a crew of people to get things done. And that's what I've done with 2 of my service businesses. And that's what I'll be teaching if you check us out in the Middleman to Millions course. And look forward to us on the road with Digital Liberty Tour 2024. It's Erica Williams.